boy in the corner. It's your boy. It's Kavi's Corner.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Kavi's Corner, your weekly ATP WTA or Roundup show brought to you by the Game to Love Tennis Podcast Network. Folks, if you haven't done so, like the video, subscribe if you're new to the channel, hit that notification bell. We've got so much stuff coming up in the lead up to the US Open. We've got the countdown. We've got the draw previews and reactions of the various tournaments on the way. We've got Kavi's Corners every week leading up to the US Open. I even got my US Open hat. Yes, y'all. So I've been wearing it since Wimbledon because it's white, but you know what's going on. Anyways, hope everyone is doing well. Thank you for waiting a little bit longer than normal. Because the tours have moved into North America, I wanted to get the matches all done before doing Kavi's Corner. Last week, I wasn't able to give you finals on two of the five matches two of the five championship matches of the five tournaments that were played last week. So we actually still have one match still going. Taylor Fritz. Actually, no, it is just completed. So I'll give you some more info on that. But anyways, let's get going, folks. Gosh, it's hot in my new studio. I should have put a fan in here, but well, that's not your issue. That's my issue, folks. All right, let's get right into it. You know what? Before we get into it, just real quick, I want to say hi to anyone who's in the comments. Who do we got? Oh, yes, we've got Kathy. Always love having Kathy in the house. Kathy, hey, Kavi. Had a Reptile Expo this weekend, so just watching the finals now. I knew Iga won, but not the rest. So hitting the like and we'll watch replay was a good expo. Glad to hear it. Kathy. Yeah, do your thing. Enjoy those matches. And then, of course, you can watch the YouTube video after we have recorded. Doesn't have to be the live stream. Also got Ghosty, change his name back to Gerolitis here. The light reflecting off Kavi's lenses make it looks like he's a little gremlin inside his head and sending out Morse code with a teeny flashlight. Send beer SOS. Funny you say that. For the last 20 minutes, I've been trying to figure out the glare situation. Didn't really have it before, but it's because my camera, it's too low. I was trying to find a way to prop it up, but I wasn't able to MacGyver it on time for the show. So apologies if it's annoying, and good catch there, Ghosty. You're always on it, my friend. Always on it. All right, let's get right into what happened this week, starting on the women's side from At First Serve Tennis, your weekend WTA champions. We have Arantxa Rus of the Netherlands. We have Iga, number one in the world, Swiatek, and we have Elisabetta Cocciaretto. What a lovely name. They were in Hamburg, they were in Warsaw, they were in Lausanne. So here you go. Photos of the victors on the women's side this week. There's Arantxa Rus, there's Iga, and there is Elisabetta Cocciaretto. Continuing on. This is from WTA. You always remember your first. Ghosty, I know what you're thinking with the innuendos. I think they were trying to do the same thing. Elisabetta Cocciaretto, there you go. Ladies Open Lausanne, and she is the title holder, and she gets to kiss the trophy. Yes, folks, and some more info, just a little bit more information on this one. This was a 250 in Switzerland, and check it out. It's her first ever title. It's a maiden title. Again, First Serve Tennis. It's a maiden WTA title for Elisabetta Cocciaretto. She is the champion in Lausanne, defeating Clara Burel of France in a really tightly fought final, 7-5, 4-6, 6-4. Cocciaretto is the ninth first-time WTA champion on tour this year. There was another one as well, folks. And this is her. Her name is Arantxa Rus. This is from at Jose Morgado. Arantxa Rus, already 32 years old, ends the fairy tale run of Noma Noha Akugwe in Hamburg, beating the 19-year-old 6-love, 7-6 for the Hamburg title. First career title for the Dutch woman, who per Up to Ace becomes the eldest first-time WTA winner in 40 years. So since the beginning of the 1980s, is no first-time WTA title winner has been 32 or older. Rus will make her top 50 debut. Folks, if you have a dream, and you think that you need to quit because you have to get a job, but you still love to death what you want to do, just do it. Just do it. This person, among every week in tennis and in all facets of life, there are people who defy the odds, and they just continue, they persevere. And so yeah, if you have something you love, just go for it. And again, look at this girl, this woman, I should say, first career title after so long. I mean, think about that. What, you're trying to do it for 20 years, almost 18, 16 years, and finally it comes through. So you never know if you just keep going, folks. And I'm going to also remember that. That's not just for you, it's for everybody. Now, this is another one from about Arantxa Rus, the Dutch woman, from at Mario Buck 17. I would like to dedicate this trophy to my dad, and then the tears. Now, if you don't know what that means, when she was doing her trophy speech at the very end, so she'd lost her father within the last year. So the last thing she said after for giving the mic back up was, I'd like to dedicate this trophy to my dad. And then visibly you could tell she was like crying after that. As someone who's lost their father, who's really close to their father, it was kind of hit me hard watching the replay of that, but really happy for her, really happy that she can connect with her father still. And I'm sure she made him proud. So life is all about bittersweet feelings. Congrats to Arantxa Rus with the clapping emojis. And there you go. And I think this photo here, I think she was actually still crying because they'd handed her the trophy right after her speech. And so I think there's some emotions there, but a lovely trophy there. I remember last year I watched a video of them, the players who were in the tournament there. They said, okay, by memory, draw the trophy. And it was actually pretty hilarious. A lot of people had really funny renditions. All right, major props to the finalist in this one. This is from at Black Spin Global, saying major props to hashtag Hamburg Open runner-up Noha Akugwe. Some players will never reach a final in their career. This was Arantxa Rus's first at the age of 32. Respect. Noha Akugwe's 19, and she did it on her WTA debut. First ever tournament, and she already made it to the finals. Future is very bright. So you got both ends of the spectrum. You got someone who never, ever gave up and finally made it through to their first title at the age of 32. And then you have someone who had never played a single tournament on the WTA Tour and makes it to the final. So a little full circle action going on here, or some sort of circle. I don't know if it's full or what, but the lefty from Germany, very pretty. Both of these ladies are. So congratulations on a great Sunday to both of these women in Hamburg. All right, moving on. We had one more tournament on the women's side, and the world number one was in action in her home country. All hail the Queen of Poland. Yes, at Relevant Tennis says Iga Swiatek defeats Laura Siegemund in Warsaw with a bagel and a breadstick score to claim her maiden, yes, her first ever WTA 250 title, 15th career title, 7th on hard courts. A special moment for Iga and for Poland. There you go, Iga Swiatek with her on hat. We've got the moisture wicking hat there, and then she's got her fist pump, the champion. She's got her PZU. I don't know exactly what that's all about. I think it's a Polish company or some other thing, but she's been rocking that even when she was with ASICS. Champion of the Warsaw Open is world number one, Iga Swiatek. And I have some more on this because it was historic for her, funny enough. Relevant Tennis. Many players win their first title in the 250 category. Well, Iga, before winning a 250, had already won 4 Grand Slams, 5 1000s, and 5 500 titles. 15 titles since October 2020. So the last less than 3 years have just been crazy for her. Average of 5 titles a year. But there's always a first time, right? And how great for her to do it in Poland. Yeah, pretty amazing. Also, you know what else is kind of funny? Once you win 3 majors, you are guaranteed a spot in the Tennis Hall of Fame. So Iga had actually confirmed a spot into the Tennis Hall of Fame before winning a 250 category tournament, which I think is also kind of funny. Okay, from at up to ace, we've got 87. Look at this number. What does it represent? Well, it represents Iga Swiatek is 87 wins and 13 losses after her first 100 matches as the number one player in the world. The exact same record of the last player able to reach the mark of 100 WTA matches as the world number one, Serena Williams. Duo. There's only two of them, folks. And look at that, the lioness herself. We got Serena, and we got the new queen of the courts, Iga Swiatek, 87-13, matching records. Quite the accomplishment. She also took, she also last year with her 37-match winning streak beat Serena's record as well. So she is in very rarefied air, and she has no signs of slowing down. So good work for world number one Iga. Couple more here. This is from Christopher Clary. Iga Swiatek wins the title at home in Warsaw with a bakery-worthy bagel breadstick victory over Laura Siegemund. Swiatek now an impressive 15-4 in tour singles finals, 4-0 in Grand Slam finals, 5-2 in 1000 level, 5-1 in 500 level, and she's split 1-all in 250 levels. So hilarious. You got what? That's 1,000 winning percent right there, or 100 winning percent. This 5 out of 2 is let's say something like around 70, and then this is around 83%, and then 15%. So as the stakes get higher, she just gets better and better and better. All right, continuing on now. This is a little bit more news relating to Iga, but also Poland. Check it out, folks, at Relevant Tennis. Huge news. Hubie Hurkacz has just confirmed via Twitter that he will play mixed doubles at the Olympics with Iga Swiatek. Hubiga want gold. There you go. It's a good nickname for them. There's the big, tall, is he 6'4", I believe? And there's Iga. She's about 5'9" or 5'10". And look at that. They're happy. They're friends. They love each other. They're country folk, and they're amazing at tennis. So, yeah, I think they'd have a very, very good shot. I mean, I don't know how many like doubles specialists there are in like the mix in the Olympics. So I think they'd have a really good shot. Okay. And then if you know it's real if it's on the clock. This is from at Olympics, the Olympic Games. The first permanent Olympic Games countdown clock by Omega Watches has hit exactly #1 year to go. So this is from 2 days ago. They started the 1 year clock. So Paris 2024 is 363 now days away. So it says Olympic capital, Lausanne, Switzerland. Interestingly, of course, we just had a tournament there as well. #Omega official timekeeper, #Paris 2024. So the countdown is on, and I just thought I'd throw that in because we were talking about the Olympics. Okay, going to do a couple more things on the WTA, and then we're going to check the comments, and then we'll keep it moving. Okay, so check this out. This was a very interesting development, folks. This is from Visegrad 24. Now it says breaking. Czechia, the country of the Czech Republic, has deported the Russian tennis player Evgenia Rodina from the country. The Russian was turned around immediately after landing in Prague. She planned on playing the Prague Open. WTA has complained to the Czech authorities about the deportation. So we got the Czech flag and the Ukrainian flag here, and this is Evgenia Rodina. So she, being a Russian player under the neutral flag of nothing, as we all know, the Russians have been playing, she was turned away. She's not allowed inside the Czech Republic. Now, the Czech Republic and Russia have a very deep and sordid history. As a hockey fan, I know that the Russians and the Czechs definitely do not like each other, politically speaking and, kind of historically speaking. I don't think, obviously, the players are, there's some players are kind of accepting of it. Some are kind of taking hard stances, we all know, especially on the women's. The men's, we don't see it as much because there's no Ukrainian man in the top 100. I think even 150. So you don't see like a Medvedev or a Rublev or those guys against a Ukrainian very often or ever. So that's, if you're wondering how come it only happens on the women's side with the handshake stuff, it's because there's more top Ukrainian and Russian and Belarusian women than there are on the men's side. But that was just me going on my tangent. So I'm going to continue here on to the next one, which is a statement from the WTA at WTA. WTA statement pertaining to athletes denied entry into Czech Republic. All right, it's a little long. Bear with me. The WTA emphatically condemns the war in Ukraine and the reprehensible actions of the Russian government. The WTA also continues to support the tour's Ukrainian athletes, as well as all WTA athletes who face immense challenges as professional athletes, while many of their loved ones and their country face attacks from Russia. Individual WTA players whose nationality is Russian or Belarusian continue to compete on the tour on a neutral basis. Of course, I just mentioned that. Despite their neutrality, some WTA players are being denied by Czech government authorities the ability to compete at the WTA 250 event scheduled to be held in Prague next week. WTA rules state that all players must be allowed to compete on the WTA based solely on merit, without discrimination. We will continue to review the situation as we factor important considerations around these complex geopolitical issues. So that was released by the WTA. Basically, there's nothing that they could do. Of course, a country is going to say our rules supersede your WTA sporting rules. I'm sure every single country would take that stance, and rightly so. But yeah, it's unfortunate for players who, you know, these people are just doing their best, trying to climb their way up the mountain, whatever way they can. And you know, it's not their fault about the war. But I can also see from the other side, with the Czechs especially, I think they take a little harder stance against the Russians because of their whole Soviet Union stuff from back in like 1968. I believe there was a massive that was where kind of it all culminated. So anyways, I'm going to take a little break from the WTA, folks. We're going to take a look at the comments. Let me know, folks, what are your thoughts on these situations? I think it's kind of interesting, and I'm really not sure what the solution here is. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you're thinking. Okay, I'm going to back up and take a look here. So oh, wait, we got this one. Reptile Expo, also how I described Friday night OkCupid dates. Hey, Max, how you doing? Hey, Kavi and everyone. Janie Bird in the house. Welcome, Janie. Nice to have you. I love the new name. I know you changed it already from Jane to Janie Bird, but love it. I refuse to believe Arantxa Rus isn't a character in Dune. Okay, I don't know Dune that well, so I feel like she could be in Mad Max or something, though. She's got that, like, you know, not in a bad way, but that weathered look, like in a badass way, you know. Hey, Ghost, says Maxi, that's a very erotic image. LOL, that social media managers knows exactly what they are doing. I know nothing about Noha Akugwe. Is she a German immigrant? I'm not sure if she's a German immigrant or if she was born there, or I would, if I'm making an assumption, I would think that her parents are probably from somewhere in Africa. That's a good question. Maybe I'll look that up and then try and get you an answer for next Cubby's Corner or next time I'm streaming. Let's see. Ghosty, Cubby's right. I don't care what the haters are saying. I will be the first full-service WTA on-site massage therapist for the Asian wing. A man must dream. Yeah. What's I remember that scene in Dumb and Dumber where Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels don't get on the bus full of ladies who need in the bikini contest, who need body oilers before competitions. The bus went that way. That is a giant trophy. Yeah, the Hamburg one, I believe you're talking about. Really, really big. Advice on how to maintain work and watching tennis. Quit your job and just watch tennis. That's normally what I recommend to most people. That's not a trophy. It's a fishing pole wrapped around a highway guardrail. Oh, man. Work less, says Ghosty to Max. Steal as much time from your employer as humanly possible. Take a backpack full of staplers and pens, too, if you can. And don't forget the sweeteners. You can take the stevia or the sugar packets or Splenda, all that stuff. I don't really do the Splenda. I don't like that stuff. More into natural fructose. You guys, the M&M of the WTA. I don't understand the context necessarily, but, oh, maybe because the hat? I'm not sure. Ghost working part-time sounds nice. The other advice, pens are pretty cool. There you go. Ghost, if only everyone had the chance to do that. LOL with the 2 flags. Hey, Ghosty, re-trophy. In the airport, Rodina could be heard yelling, "You better check yourself before you wreck yourself, boo." Why would they wait until she flew to Prague to deny her? They wanted the limelight. Yeah, I mean, it's not like the tournament probably knows that, you know, this Russian player is coming, but I don't think like the airport authorities knew. Or maybe they did actually. I wouldn't put it past these. Everyone has so much information nowadays. Government information and, travel information and, phone, blah, blah, blah. We're all trackable and all that stuff. Don't forget the sweeteners. LOL. That's the reason I said that. There's a show I really like. It's called Better Off Ted. It had 2 seasons and it canceled. But it's about this guy who works for this like super duper mega company. It's like if Pepsi bought IBM and bought Starbucks and bought Coca-Cola and became one huge. So he works for them, and he's kind of battling between like how big and nefarious they are and the fact that he gets paid a lot to do what he does. But anyways, watch Better Off Ted. I think you would ghost out of anyone on these streams. I feel like you would enjoy it the most. Anyways, I don't know how I got to that, but talking about the limelight, I think there's definitely something there. They wanted to say, haha, Russian person, you came here, but you're not allowed in. I definitely think. I don't know Better Off Ted. Gonna check that out. Definitely check it out. Only 2 seasons, and there's these 2 scientists that work for him. One's this white guy, really, really shy. One's this black guy who kind of reminds me of Chappelle a little bit. And they're just like hilarious comic duo. So is the Ted guy. And anyways, watch it. It's a really good show. Only 2 seasons, so easy to digest. Okay, folks, let's get on to the men's side now. Not super long today on Kavi's Corner. Well, what are we, 22 minutes in? Yeah, so we'll see. Probably going to be under 45 minutes today. Normally I go between 45 and an hour. We had a little bit more of the smaller tournaments. Now we're going to start ramping it up in the coming weeks for the US Open hard court swing. Okay, now moving on forward. At Relevant Tennis, Zverev wins the 20th title in Hamburg. The former number 2 wins his first title since the 2028 ATP Finals and the first one on clay since 2021 Madrid by defeating Laszlo Djere in 2 sets. German flag. Thanks to this win, Zverev moves to number 9 in the race, number 10 if Fritz wins Atlanta, which, folks, spoiler alert, he did. So Zverev will actually now be number 10 in the race, but it's only by like 30 points or something like that. So there you go. Congratulations to Sascha Zverev. I did mention last week that he did get hit with another allegation from the German government where he wouldn't get jail time, but he was accused of assaulting his child's mother back in 2021. And if he's found guilty, he will have to pay up 480,000 euros. I don't want to go back and necessarily make that about this, but it is something noteworthy. I still have mixed feelings, as you guys know, if you watch my stuff about Zverev. I've always kind of, not loved him so much. But anyways, you got to congratulate someone who he put in the work. He won the trophy, and there you go. And another theme, which kind of hit me again in the heart feels, another champion thanking their father. Luckily for him, his father is still around, that he gets to say it in front of him. At the Tennis Letters, Zverev thanks his dad after winning Hamburg. Big thank you to my father. He looks very tough, but he's always the first one to cry. Yep, my pops used to cry all the time at like commercials, at movies, and all that stuff. So yeah, there you go. There you go. Congrats to Sascha Zverev and family. Moving on. We had an unbelievable title match in Umag from At Relevant Tennis. Alexei Popyrin, the Aussie, defeats Stan, the Animal Wawrinka, coming from 1 set down, winning his second ATP title. After in the 3rd set, he seemed on the verge of retiring due to physical illness. Yeah, he had, I'm not sure exactly what it was, but I think he had some stomach issues. Wasn't sure if he was going to continue playing, but he did, and huge resilience from Popyrin. There you go, Alexei Popyrin, rocking the backwards Fila hat, champion in Croatia Open, Umag. So congrats to him on the clay. We have a few more on this one. Again, Relevant Tennis, players to defeat Stan Wawrinka in ATP Finals after losing the first set. Very short list. Novak did it in Rome. Andy did it in Antwerp. Rome in 2008. Andy Murray did it in Antwerp in 2019. And Alexei Popyrin did it today. End of the list. Other 10 failed, including Ferrer, Nadal, Coric, and Cilic. So no list to snag at right there. Huge accomplishment for Alex, and the huge roar from the Russian/Australian. A little bit more. Stan Wawrinka, he shed some tears. So again, lots to talk about tears today. Stan Wawrinka was crying during his speech in Umag, says at the tennis letter. And this is what he said exactly. I know it's so stupid to cry, but I love this sport so much. You make it really special. Amazing week. Hopefully I can come back. Thank you for the support. Thank you for being here. Hopefully I see you next year. Yeah, you got to feel for him. This guy, I've always liked this guy. He's never been my favorite, but he's always been a guy that I really liked. He just has that kind of likable. He's a little rougher than Roger kind of thing, you know. I really love that one time when he's like, oh, Roger's laughing over there. He's talking in a trophy presentation. It's like, oh, Roger's laughing over there. He's such an asshole. You know, like I like him. You know, he's really kind of, you know, and he did some pretty incredible things. He's won 3 majors, as we all know, as many as Andy Murray. So he obviously didn't make as many finals as Sir Andy. By the way, we do have a little bit of news on Andy coming up. All right, continuing on. The drought continues for Stan Wawrinka, who hasn't won an ATP title since 2017, says Relevant Tennis. Today, he was very close, especially considering Popyrin's physical condition in the 3rd set. It's hard to digest. Is that a pun there about the stomach? But his return to the top 50 shows that Stan is still competitive, and it also shows that he absolutely loves and adores the sport. So, mad props. Gotta love anyone who loves what they do, and they just go after it like Aran Charus. And the last one on this match, at the fan child, you're a legend. Okay, this is what Popyrin said to Wawrinka. You're a legend of this sport. For me to play a final against you, it's an honor. I grew up rooting for you, and I rooted for you in every single Grand Slam final that you played. Honestly, man, I love you, and I love and I love the love that you have for the sport. Man, that's a lot of love in one sentence. Honestly, man, I love you, and I love the love that you have for the sport. How lovely. So there you go. Very kind words, and yeah, mad respect. You know, it sounds, I mean, you never know, you know, people always say things in the moment, but it sounds, the way he said it, when I heard it back, he really sounded like he was actually rooting for him and rooted for you in every single Grand Slam final that you played. So yeah, that's pretty sweet. It must be great for Wawrinka to hear, and probably also great for Wawrinka to keep him motivated to keep playing. Yeah. So, folks, the other tournament was Atlanta, and we had a final. We had another Australian, Alexander Vukic, against American Taylor Fritz, and that one went to a 3rd set. I was hoping that Fritz won the first set 7-5, and then it went to a tiebreak. And if it was, if the tiebreak went to Fritz's way, I would have actually started this video a little bit sooner for y'all. But it ended up going into a 3rd set, and that 3rd set went 6-4 for Taylor Fritz. So he takes the break and runs with it, and he takes the title in Atlanta. Now, because I've been on since he won, no slides for that. So you'll have to take my word that Taylor Fritz has won against Alexander Vukic over in Atlanta. So congratulations to Fritzy. And let's just take a look real quick now at the tournaments from last week. So this is what we had last week. Atlanta, as mentioned, Fritzy here. Let's go a little closer. There you go. Fritzy won that one. Croatia, we had Popyrin. And then Warsaw, we had Iga. Hamburg, we had Aran Charus. And then Lausanne, we had Cocciaretto. Coming up this week, we have the Mubadala City Open in DC. That is, let's back that up. That is, we have a WTA, oopsie, my bad. We have a WTA and ATP 500. So that's Washington, D.C. this week. And then we also have Mubadala Silicon Valley Classic on the West Coast. That's in San Jose. That's a 500 on the WTA side. We also have in Kitzbühel, Austria, the Generali Open ATP 250. Another ATP 250 in Los Cabos, Mexico, in the Mifel Tennis Open by Telcel Oppo. And then finally, we have Live Sport Prague Open. That was the one where the Russian player was denied entry into the country in Prague. That's in the Czech Republic. That's a hard court. 250. So we have 3 500s and 3 250s as we get closer and closer to Cincinnati. And then we got Montreal, Toronto, and all the fun stuff leading up to the U.S. Open. Ooh. Okay, now before we get into, you know what, one thing I'll get into real quick. We're going to get into the rankings on both the men's and women's side, and then we'll get back to the comments real quick. So on the women's side, singles rankings, no change. Well, actually, that's not true. There was some change to the top 10, but basically Ons and Caroline Garcia flipped. So Garcia was 5 and she drops to 6. Ons was 6 and she goes up to 5. Other than that, Iga still 1, Sabalenka 2, Rybakina 3, Pegula 4. Again, Ons 5, Caroline Garcia 6, Coco Gauff 7, Kvitova 8, Sakari 9, and Vondrousova. Thank you, Gary, once again. Number 10. And yeah, pretty crazy. We got 2 Czechs, 2 Americans. Yeah, so there you go. Good job there. Now let's get to the race rankings for the women. This one's a little bit different. But we also have no change to the top 10 in this one. So number 1 in this category, Aryna Sabalenka, followed by Iga Swiatek 2, Rybakina 3, Pegula 4, Vondrousova number 5, Jabeur 6, Kvitova 7, and Karolina Mukova is at the cutoff, number 8. Again, the top 8 make it into the WTA finals. Now check this out. 3 Czechs in the top 8 in this one. So that's extremely impressive for the Czechians. Congratulations to them. On the men's side, let's have a look. No changes. We still have Carlitos number 1 after taking the Wimbledon title from world number 2 Novak Djokovic a couple weeks ago at center court there in SW19. Number 3, also semifinalist at Wimbledon, Daniil Medvedev. Casper Ruud number 4, Stefanos Tsitsipas number 5, Holger Rune 6, Rublev 7, Jannik Sinner 8, and rounding out the 9th and 10th spots, a couple of Americans, Fritzy and Tiafoe. And Hachanov is at 11, and we'll throw Felix Auger-Aliassime and Cam Norrie round out the top 13. I don't know why I chose 13, but I did. All right, and we'll go to the singles race here. And Alcaraz also leading that by about, 700 points. So Alcaraz, number 1, Novak 2, Medvedev, Rublev 3 and 4, Tsitsipas 5, Sinner 6, Holger Rune 7, Casper Ruud rounds out the top 8. Fritzy on the cusp. Again, Fritz just barely by 35 points by winning in Atlanta. So he was actually down, I think, like 65 points or something to Zverev. And then Zverev overtook him when he won earlier today in Hamburg. And then Fritz came right back. So Fritzy number 9, Alexander Zverev number 10. Alcaraz has already qualified, just so y'all know. Okay, folks, I am going to now get back into the comments. I'm going to go back it up here. Let's see. BJ Fresh, hello, my friend. Kavi, good to see you. Good to see you as well, BJ. Haven't seen you in the chats lately, so it's always great to have you. Thank you, my friend, for joining. I was rooting for Djere. Yeah, I was too. I'm not going to lie. Hey, BJ. Hey, Ghosty. Why is Zverev's father crying? Is he also getting his? Oh, gosh. Wow. Who comes up with these stats? They're going back years. Why is Stan crying? Does he live with Zverev? You know what? Zverev deserves it. I'm not even gonna filter these. There you go. Janie Bird. Oh my God, Ghosty. Hard to digest is shading the Croatian culinary industry. LOL. There you go. When people ask you where the love went, you can tell them it's probably in a Popri speech. Yeah. No mass love. What is Mubadala? It's a I don't know if it's like an investment company or something. There you go. BJ Fresh investment company. Yeah. It just, I think it's like a Middle Eastern. It sounds like it to me. Okay. Of course, Czech women are deadly. Lots of tennis talent. Yes. And of course, very beautiful as well. Ghost, I don't understand how they calculate all that. Rublev has won 2 tournaments this year and played more than Rune, but he's behind him. Yeah. It's just how many points you get, and they just calculate it, right? So if you, like, for example, here, I'll pull this up here. Here, I'll pull this up. This was the ATP ranking. So as you can tell here, if you look on the where I'm highlighting. Am I highlighting? I'm not. Yeah, well, kind of tell. It says minus 300. So last year, Alcaraz, I believe, was in Hamburg during this week, and he lost in the final where he won 300 points. I think Hamburg, I think he lost to Musetti, who got the 500 points. Or it was Sinner, one of the two. I know he lost back-to-back clay finals after the grass season last year. So if you have points, in the last 12 months, of course, they come off on the same week the next year. And so, yeah, basically Rune has done really well since the end of last year. But Rublev, he didn't make, like, this year he's making it deeper and winning more titles. And so I think he's gaining more points. And like next year, it might be harder for him to keep up all the points because he's getting so much more this year. Rune's been on a consistent incline, although Rune has a lot of points to defend after the US Open because he went off. He went to like 3 or 4 finals in the indoor hard court swing. So yeah, watch out for him. He's going to have a lot of upholding to do, although I think he's up for the challenge. He's going to be fine. Ghosty says 1. Demario Alunar, GTL, welcome, friend. How are you? Roy Alusala, Canadian and Cincinnati WTA predictions. Honestly, it's hard to not choose Alcaraz in one of those two. I know that Novak is not going to be in Canada, but he will be in Cincinnati. So I'm going to go ahead and say, yeah, but I'm going to say, I want to go off the board here, Roy. I'm going to go ahead and say Medvedev takes, I'm going to say Alcaraz takes 1 and Medvedev takes 1. Yeah, I'm going to say that. And let's see. And let me know what you think, Roy, or anyone else watching. Hey, Demario, I like your name. First time I've heard that. Yeah, it is a cool name. Roy, I believe Canada would destroy Cincinnati in hand-to-hand combat. They all spar with Wolverines up there, Yeah, that's true. Wolverine was Canadian if you're an X-Men fan. I don't know why I'm keeping this up there. Okay, folks. All right, just a couple more pieces of news, and then we're going to do players of the week, and then we're going to call it. Ghosty. Medvedev has won Cincinnati before, and we know that he never wins the same place twice. So maybe he'll win in Canada, although he might have won it there. I'm not sure. But thank you for that info, Ghost. All right, I'm going to get back into it. The last 3 or 4. Yeah, 3 topics, but 4 slides. Now, check this out. At the UTS, the Ultimate Tennis Showdown, there was like this loose conversation between Tiafoe was recorded. They're at a restaurant drinking a Coke and having a pizza or something. And they were just having like a conversation that was filmed. And it was and Kyrgios was talking about he's not going to be playing when he's like 33 years old. He's 28, but he's 57 with all the drinking and partying. And so, yeah, basically, this is a response from Tracy Austin on the Tennis Channel Network. This was on a segment they did. And this is from At the Tennis Letter. It says, Tracy Austin on Nick Kyrgios saying, I'm not playing till I'm 33. When I'm gone, you'll never see me again. And then this is what Tracy Austin said. I kind of find it sad you're playing a professional sport and you just don't absolutely love it. You don't drink it up. You want to feel like you're lucky to be out there. So that's what Tracy Austin said to Nick Kyrgios. Check out this. Nick Kyrgios actually, this tweet wasn't from Tracy Austin. It was from the Tennis Channel. But Nick Kyrgios actually responded to this very tweet from the relevant tennis. The Tennis Letter, saying, why am I lucky to be out there? I worked and put myself in that position. There wasn't any luck involved. Some people play for different things. We aren't all tennis nuts. Some of us have a little more of an impact than that. The crying emoji, laughing crying emoji. So yeah, interesting from Kyrgios. I mean, you don't have to be a tennis nut, but I also agree with Tracy Austin in a sense. Like I remember I played hockey with this guy who at our age group was so much better than everyone. He was a defenseman, and he literally could just take the puck and go through anyone and score at will when we were like 12 years old. And I was like crazy in love with hockey. And this guy didn't even like hockey that much. He said he just played it because his dad or mom wanted him to play. I think his dad wanted him to play, but he actually loved soccer. And I was just like, man, like, give me the talent, give me that, raw ability. Now, luckily, I worked my butt off and got to play U.S. college hockey, which was a dream, to be able to travel around and fly to different places to play games and, suits and stuff. But the point is, I just remember thinking, man, like, this guy was just so amazing. He was better than everyone at his age group, and he just didn't like it that much. But he was incredible, and that's kind of what this reminds me of. So anyways, that's a little bit of news from Kyrgios, who, by the way, the defending champion in DC, has withdrawn. So the guy just flies to different tournaments and withdraws, and flies to another tournament and withdraws and withdraws and withdraws. He hasn't played. He's played one match this year. Hasn't played since. Or did he? Yeah, I didn't even know if he played a match. Yeah, I think he played one match in Halle or something this year. But other than that, he hasn't played since the U.S. Open. So I'm not sure what's going on with Nick Kyrgios. Okay, moving on. This was a weird story, folks. Hugo Gaston retired at 2-5, love 40 in the third set, in the final set against Trungelliti. Italian. So it says, wow, from at the tennis letter. So check this out. Challenger Tour. So I'm just going to quickly check something. So basically, Hugo Gaston won back-to-back challenger tournaments, one in Romania on clay and one in Italy, in Trieste, on clay last week. He's on a 10-match winning streak. And then he plays another tournament in Verona, Italy, first round matchup against, again, Trungelliti. And he basically was triple match point down, and he retires. And now everyone's thinking, is this due to betting? Is, like, what's going on? This is hella shady. So check this out. It's from at Damien Kunst. We've praised Hugo Gaston the last fortnight. Do you know how his 10-match win streak ends? He retires 6-3, 2-6, 2-5, love 40 down to Marco Trungelliti in Verona. I keep wanting to say like Berrettini or something, like sort of in that. Anyways, whatever. In Verona, started walking over to the net as soon as he saw the net cord for love 40. Always a bizarre choice to do this. So if you don't remember, this guy, he got fined $155,000 earlier in the year because he was playing against Borna Coric, and in the middle of a point, he popped up a huge, easy lob, which Coric was about to hit, but Gaston took the ball that was in his pocket, the second ball or whatever for second serve, and he just dropped it onto the court, hoping that the umpire would give him a let. Well, he got suspended $155,000 for that. He ended up appealing it, and they cut it in half. But he made less than $120,000 on tour last year. So basically, it ate up pretty much a massive percentage, like 60-something% of his earnings last year. So yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with this guy. He's had unsportsmanlike conduct infractions 4 times this year, and a lot of people now are like, just suspend the guy, kick him off the tour, whatever. But yeah, very, very weird actions from Hugo Gaston. Okay. Last one. This one's from Andy Murray because I wanted to end it on a positive note. And it's not overtly positive necessarily, but, Andy Murray's missing a hip. He's got a metal one. And so he had a rough time last year in the U.S. hardcourt swing. This is from at Tennis Atlantic. This is from Andy Murray. Obviously had quite a lot of issues last year during American summer with like cramping and stuff like that. Wanted to make sure I got here early to give myself enough time to adjust to that. It's been good. And that's from Andy Murray at Andy Murray. So there you go. The Mubadala Citibank Open in Washington, D.C. will have Sir Andy Murray. I'm really excited. I hope that he gets to make at least another big run in his career. Big fan of Sir Andy and just everything he does for tennis. So, all right, folks, that is going to do it for the slides. All I need from you now is your guesses. who is going to be the WTA Player of the Week and who is the ATP Player of the Week, according to me. You get to guess. I'm going to give you 10 seconds, and then I'm going to play the Women's Player of the Week. 10 seconds starting now. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do.
Iga Swiatek. The bakery be opening when the Polish girl be rolling in. Each victim be serving them breadstick in a bagel and I'm eager when I'm your child. I'm a feature, gonna beat ya. I'm eager, gonna suit ya. Now you can't handle my heat now.
All right, so Iga is our victor. Now, a little bit of disclosure. We don't have an Arantxa Rus button because we haven't. I don't think we've ever streamed a match of hers. I would have given it to her, of course, a 32-year-old first-time titleist, but also Iga, first time she's won in Poland, and it's the first time in 30 years that a Polish player has won, since the Open era, Polish player has won in Poland. So she does deserve it as well. But yes, definitely could have gone to Rus. I think Ghosty had Rus there. We got Iga and Zverev. We got Roy. Well, you definitely got the Iga part right. Laura Sigmund yesterday. Close. Yeah, she had a couple. She played, 2-3 matches? It was really crazy. Let's see here. Ooh, I'm just going to go up a bit. Oh, 2019 Cincinnati. It was Medi's first title. Okay, so there you go. So you did mention that before. That same year, Medi almost beat Nadal 5 sets at the US Open. Thanks for the response. Though I asked the women's prediction on. Oh, got you. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and say, I'm going to go totally off the board and say Andreescu is going to win in Canada. And in Cincinnati, I'm going to say Ons Jabeur. I think Ons Jabeur is going to, she's going to do it. I'm going to say Ons Jabeur. Thank you for the question again, Roy. Really appreciate it. I'm with Kyrgios on this, to be honest. The moral grandstanding is a little much. Yeah, I mean, they get to do their own thing. It's like that scene in Good Will Hunting when Matt Damon sets fire to some math homework or whatever, and the bougie professor falls to his knees and scolds the young hood genius. Yeah, very, very apt there. I like that. I like French players, LOL. They're more dickish on average than the other ATP countries. Ghosty to Roy. Yeah, I'm saying Canadian women would absolutely demolish Cincinnati women. They smash the Lat blue cans over their head every morning while brushing their teeth. Hella tough. Missing some hip. The Andy Murray story. There you go. Okay, folks, on the men's side, who do you think? I'm going to give you 5 seconds this time, and then I'm going to press the button. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That backhand, it's incredible. That Swiss man's unforgettable. Cause Stan's the man at the Grand Slam. Comes with his master plan, saying, gotta fear of him, it's rational. This guy, he is a cannibal. On the court, he acts like an animal. He's the Stanimal. He's the Stanimal. He's the Stanimal.
There you go. He's a Stanimal, folks. And Ghosty gets it in right at the end of the button there. Nicely done. Now, let's see. So, Roy, you were half right. You did get Iga, but the second one was Stanimal because the man is still in the top 50, 37 years old, and just loves it so much that he cried. Got to give him some love. And Roy saying to Ghost, I'm asking tennis questions. What's up with your weird? He's just joking around, Roy. Ghosty is one of our regulars. He's a very, very clever individual, but definitely don't take any offense. He's just kidding. Oh, yeah, there you go. You said it. Oops, I'm joking. Stan, hell, Skip Zverev Player of the Week. He's already so good at beating WTA players. I don't know if he beats WTA players, but he beats Ws sometimes. Wait, hold on. I shouldn't say that. It's not cool. We don't know for sure, but a lot of accusations, so who knows? All right, folks, that's going to do it for Kavi's Corner. I said it was going to be under an hour, and it is by only about 9.5 minutes. But I want to thank you guys all for joining me. Not sure what's going on this week in terms of streams. I'm hoping there will be some pretty good matches in Washington, D.C. in the 500 on both the men's and women's. So hopefully we'll see you there. Andy Murray's in action. Gosh, I forgot. There was another tweet I saw with a whole bunch of people in action. Anyways, yeah, we got we got 3 500s this week. So we may have some streaming going on. Stay tuned to the channel. Also, we got the countdown. We'll have some draw previews, things like that leading up to the US Open. Hit like on this video, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Once again, my name is Kavi. You have watched Kavi's Corner for this week. I will see you all next week, if not sooner than that. Have a great day, and peace out, y'all.
It's Kavi's Corner.
Give it a like. I said give it a like. Leave a little comment, share the video, and hit subscribe. That's right.
It's your world.
Check out this other video.